work of luminaries and what happens when we engage in spiritual warfare. But I discovered something that many of us have been so much acquainted with spiritual warfare that every time we hear about warfare, we always be thinking about what is happening in the spirit world. And we are always thinking about the invisible world and the things that should be happening in that world. And then we classify that as spiritual warfare. But today I want to speak about that it is possible that what you see physically can actually be spiritual warfare. Yet you can experience it and see it in the physical. Yet it is a war that is happening in the spirit. There is a time where wars of the spirit are not only fought in the spirit from a physical perspective, because what we would be seeing, it will simply be physical activity. But we will not truly get the understanding that what simply we are seeing happening around us, it is a war in the spirit, yet it is taking place in the natural. Because we've been trained in all our lives in how to war in the spirit and in how to engage in the spiritual world. But none of us have been prepared to the realities that actually the wars that we fight in the flesh might be a continuation of the wars that we are fighting in the spirit. That what we are dealing with physically might actually be a continuation of what we are dealing with in the spirit. But because we are so caught up with the invisible world as the only factor of operation, then it is easy that we overlook a war that is taking place in the physical and think that whatever that is happening physically is simply just by chance or simply just the activities of men. And because of that, then it can be easy for the enemy to take an advantage of us, because we have been trained by the word that our warfare is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, rulers of darkness that are in secret places. So because we know that our warfare is not against flesh and blood, and that our weapons of war are not carnal, but they are mighty unto God to the pulling down of strongholds and casting down of imaginations. So we then begin to summarize it in this way, that it means that we do not have to engage in anything that is physical, because all that we are engaged in is in the spirit. Therefore, we do not expect anything to come and challenge us physically, because we were told through the word that we are actually engaged